Hi, I'm Crystal, and over here we have Silva,
a cork, and a baby.
Who's that?
Yes.
And basically we're on a quest to find the ultimate sustainable barefoot lifestyle, and I'm making a documentary series called Live the Dream, and it's a way for us to share our adventures with you and our discoveries along the way of the best way to live sustainably. Off they go to the swimming pool on the back deck. We have some kayakers in the marina. So we're in this marina in Morocco on the Atlantic coast in a city called Rabat, and basically we're stuck here. And so we had our halyard brake, which is the rope that lifts up the mainsail on a boat. It snapped the other day when we were on our way here, and we found that we also had a few other problems with a little bit of our running rig. So that's all of our lines and pulleys, etc. And so we have a bit of repairs to do on the boat, and we can't actually afford to repair those things. So since I had Gaia, which she's nearly a year old, I've been looking for a way to help my family financially. My husband has an online business, but it only earns a very modest income, and it's not enough for us to live on. And life on a sailboat is actually quite cheap unless you need to fix things, and then it can be expensive, and marinas, food and maintenance costs all tend to add up. So I have a background in filming and photography, and I thought, well, we're doing some cool stuff here, and we're also trying to discover something that I think is quite valuable. And when you come from a country like I do, Australia, or Silva is from France, they're both very privileged countries, and we do tend to have access to everything we need all of the time. But there's a lot of people in a lot of places in the world that don't have the same privileges as us, and we've traveled in a lot of those different countries, a lot of African countries and Southeast Asian countries where life is not as easy. And to us that's actually very inspiring, and it gives us ideas of how we could live our lives better and how we could be more sustainable in our choices. And so in our travels, it's not just about having a good time, because most of the time we're actually not. We're really struggling financially, we're struggling emotionally, it's challenging becoming parents, it's challenging living on a sailboat, especially when you don't have all that much sailing experience between us, and trying to live off the grid and away from the regular way that most people live is actually a lot harder than people think. So the title of my documentary series, Live the Dream, is a little bit tongue-in-cheek, because everyone always says to us, oh, you guys are living the dream, rah rah rah, it must be so nice, so peaceful, so romantic, etc. But actually it's really quite the opposite. And what I wanted to do with this documentary series is to actually show you a little bit more of what we actually experience. So a little bit more of our boat maintenance, the different cultures that we encounter, and how we're really trying to live our most sustainable existence in all of that, and how we're trying to raise our daughter Gaia to be a conscious individual, to be aware of the world around her, and to be aware of how she fits into a bigger context, and how her choices can actually impact on a global scale the world around her. So that's kind of what we're about. And Patreon, which is this fantastic platform that I'm using, is a way that the consumer can actually support the creators that they're interested in directly. So what that means is that if I create content, for example in this instance videos, recipes, photos, written word, those sorts of things, and if you're interested in that content, then you can actually pay for it directly to me. So we take out the middleman. And the way that I've set up my Patreon page is on a monthly subscription basis, and there are different tiers of subscription depending on how much you want to support our project, and that will give you different access to different types of content. Just be aware that on the page, the top right hand corner, there's a big orange button that says become a patron. So if you click on that, be aware that that is a monthly subscription. So if at some point in the future you decide that you no longer want to be a patron, that's super fine. Just make sure that you do unsubscribe. So that's about it. Thank you so much for at least considering becoming a patron and supporting our quest to find the ultimate sustainable barefoot lifestyle.